It's in Bloomberg. I'm going to cover it next segment, but we have the inside story from Spike's Tactical. They're listed in the article. All firearms, except by law enforcement and military, are to be banned off YouTube. You show it, you talk about it, unless you're Hollywood. Then you can show guns and shooting. Total discrimination. This is like banning the word that's associated with the dictator of China. So YouTube expands restrictions on videos featuring firearms and firearms accessories. Just says you will not have them, and just banned one of our big sponsors, SpikesTactical.com.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
You know, we've been talking about censorship a lot, and the globalists are moving against our free speech. I have news here so over the top, so devastating, so insane that I'm going to get to your calls, and I'm going to finish up with Roger and let him cover some of his news. And then at the end of the next segment, I'm going to cover it with Dr. Group. But the Group's here staying late because he's got to go back to Houston to take your calls. We're going to do that. But this ban on YouTube is so big, it affects us. It affects you. And this has happened to us personally. Now, and it's in Bloomberg. I'm going to cover it next segment, but we have the inside story from Spike's Tactical. They're listed in the article. All firearms, except by law enforcement and military, are to be banned off YouTube. You show it, you talk about it, unless you're Hollywood. Then you can show guns and shooting. Total discrimination. This is like banning the word that's associated with the dictator of China. So YouTube expands restrictions on videos featuring firearms and firearms accessories. Just says you will not have them, and just banned one of our big sponsors, SpikesTactical.com. Promo code Alex. They got the best AR-15s out there. Military, everybody agrees. They're very affordable, and they're trying to shut them down. So that's coming up next segment. Roger. Roger, this is a very serious issue. Take it off. Come on. This is going to be on the news. I really want your Seth Rich take. Come on. Stop it, please. So now he's wearing a cowboy hat. Okay, what is the name of that one, okay? Didn't you know YouTube's banned hats? You can't show any hats.
Here's the point, Alex. The reason that they did that policy was to ban a video that you and I made at a shooting range in Austin. Now, that day, I wore what you said was the biggest cowboy hat you'd ever seen, and I said, no, I actually have one that's bigger. This is it. So in any event, let's go to Seth.
What is the name of that horrible thing?
This is a Tom Mix. Tom Mix was the first cowboy, singing cowboy movie star.
I was about to say, that's a really old-fashioned cowboy hat.
Yes, very 30s Texas. It's a great look.
Well, you better be in charge when you walk around in that.
Yeah, there's no question. This is how the El Padron wore this hat in the Texas range. In any event, let's get to Seth Rich.
Yeah, no, this is really big because this is so serious. Well, you've seen the report, but recap it and give us your take.
Well, here's the most extraordinary thing, and that is a barrier in the mainstream media to anyone who wants to talk about this. This is precisely why they're cracking down on our content, because we will discuss it. And there's just too many anomalies in this case. First of all, you have Bill Binney and Ray McGuire and other respected former counterterrorism IT wizards for these agencies telling us that there's far more evidence that the material that was hacked from the DNC was not hacked at all, but downloaded to a zip drive or a
Sure, the download speed was 6 times at the time what anybody could do. He's the former head of the NSA Technical, so he is the wizard, and they've looked at it absolutely. And then you've got all the Debbie Wasserman Schultz and the missing laptops and the Awan brothers and blah, 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 and him. But now the guy investigating it gets shot twice in the back like Seth Rich and then run over by a car, lives.
But when we go out and say that, they're going to say, you see, it's another one of those Sean Hannity, Alex Jones conspiracy theories. There's a mainstream media conspiracy here not to talk about this case, despite all of the compelling facts.
I was about to say, it's sensational when the main investigator in D.C. is going to do a pickup of data, lifts up the cone where it's supposedly at, gets shot twice in the back from behind, runs with his dog, gets run over and still lives. And then the guy is a commando Marine from the Department of Energy.
what's clear from the beginning is that Seth Rich has motive. He's a progressive. He's a Bernie Sanders supporter. Although technically, as a DNC employee, he's not supposed to be sorting anybody. His heart is with Bernie. He sees the way Hillary and Deborah Wasserman are stealing anything in the building that isn't nailed down. That's his motive. He's motivated by his ideology. He sees these people cheating the movement that he belongs to politically. And that's why he gives the documents, most probably, to Assange. I base that solely on Assange's extraordinary interview where he said repeatedly when asked about Rich, our sources, I'm not saying Mr. Rich was a source or he wasn't, but our sources take their lives in their hands when they cooperate with us. He said it 3 times, and then he posted this reward or a reward for information that leads to the.
And now his mother says she's suing Fox News because she's hurt after her son died and the media coverage hurt. Well, I'm sorry. It's a public thing. He got killed. You had a reward out. Of course, it's unsolved murder. We can speculate all day.
No, but this is pivotal because you see their whole shutting you up is based on the family's request for privacy. Well, the right to privacy is very important, but it's not more important than the right to the truth. This was an assassination. This kid was murdered for political reasons because he was giving up the inside on how Hillary was robbing the nomination process.
And we have a right to say that. But now that people are getting shot in the back and there's lawsuits and everything, I mean, that adds a lot of fuel to this.
There's no question. Why does the D.C. police still have his laptops and nobody can see them, which would prove that he was in touch with WikiLeaks if he is the leaker? I have no inside knowledge.
And then you've got Schultz threatening, saying, I'll cut off DC's funding if you don't give me the other laptops, and the police say no. Do we even know who has those now?
Well, the Capitol Hill police chief is actually a patriot, and he's a very feisty guy who does it by the book. And when Deborah Wasserman Schultz tried to run over him in a hearing, telling him that essentially threatened him if her laptops were not returned in the entire Awan brother mess. This is another huge story that we have worked with others in the alternative media to cover that the mainstream media just doesn't seem to get on page 1. These 2 guys are most likely Pakistani intelligence from a number of points of view, and they rob not just money, but they rob the identity and all the personal information of 130 congressmen, and then they're using it as leverage to blackmail them, essentially.
It's all on Infowars.com, Newswars.com, the video of it all. They don't want you to know. Our prayers go out to the lady's family and her, but, you know, your son's in an unsolved murder and worked for the DNC, and we have a right to look at it. Now the guy investigating got shot twice in the back and run over. So
I don't understand. Why wouldn't she want more knowledge out there?
A top DNC crisis manager took over about 2 weeks after. And Roger?
Flipped her, absolutely. No, that's the important thing. People need to understand the chain of events here. Rich is murdered. Rich's father says publicly he wasn't robbed. His ring, his wallet, his jewelry, all intact. And they hire an investigator. Then suddenly the investigator is fired. He's discharged. And a crisis consultant who does work for the Democratic National Committee is hired. At that point, their new strategy is to trot the family out saying, respect our privacy, ask no questions about this, you're disgusting, you're a conspiracy if you ask any reasonable question about this case. That's their whole, a strategy. And we've covered it at Infowars, but, where are some of the others who should be following this story?
All right, we're going to break. Coming back and jamming in a few final calls for Dr. Group. We'll go boom, boom, boom. I promised your calls briefly. We've got huge specials running at InfoWarsStore.com. It's an ongoing battle to fund our operation. Great supplements, great air filtration, great non-GMO heirloom seeds for the springtime coming up. Super male vitality and super female vitality, amazing formula. 25% off the already discounted price. Then we have keep your gut in check. Don't just go after the bad bacteria. Go after the bad yeast, mold, all that garbage with MycoZX Now Plus, stronger. And we've got the new Super Blue with the special Super Sol Silver, and it's got the iodine and all of that. Great to spray into your mouth. Great for topical disinfection as well.
For your hands.
For your hands, so it doesn't sterilize you like the alcohol-based stuff's known to do.
Saying.
Absolutely. And then we've also got the prebiotic fiber, best source prebiotic fiber from amazing sources. That is about to sell out. It's got 5-star reviews. Whatever you do, be sure and peruse InfoWarsStore.com, because without you, George Soros and Hillary Clinton and these globalists will defeat InfoWars. And then next, they're going to have their way with you, and you know they want to.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the Resistance.
Donald Trump.
I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. I left my cell, my pager, and my home phone at the bottom. I sent 2 letters back in autumn. You must not have got them. There probably was a problem at the post office or something. Sometimes I scribble addresses too sloppy when I jot them. But anyways, what's up, man? How's your daughter? I know you probably hear this every day, but I'm your biggest fan. Anyways, I hope you get this, man. Hit me back, just a chat. Truly yours.
I can't stand that motherfucker, and I feel like he's not paying attention to me.
Okay.
And I was kind of waiting for him to say something.
Like his Twitter fingers, yeah.
Yeah, and for some reason, he didn't say anything.
The globalists are losing, but they're doubling down their attacks. There's one thing they fear, and it's people power. Infowars has defeated their censorship so far only because of you spreading the links, spreading the articles, subscribing, clicking the notification buttons, and getting the articles and videos out. But they are intensifying their censorship, so now it's more important than ever to ensure we keep the First Amendment alive and well right here in America and free speech worldwide. So from Australia to countries in Africa, to Europe, to Mexico, to right here in the USA, I salute you all for taking action and defending free speech. We will prevail.
Nourish a probiotic-friendly environment in your gut with prebiotic fiber by Infowars Life. Help the good bacteria thrive and support overall digestive health with our specially formulated prebiotic fiber, a mixture of clinically studied and organic acacia, fruit, and flax fiber. Prebiotic fiber is soluble fiber that ferments in the gut to help feed good bacteria, which helps you digest food, absorb nutrients, and even support your immune system. Infowars Life's cutting-edge formula only brings you the highest quality, organic, and clinically studied ingredients. Cheap prebiotic fibers are used up only at the beginning of the colon, but our premium organic acacia fiber is slowly digested by the good bacteria throughout the entire colon for maximum prebiotic effect. Head to InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.